What made you realize your girlfriend isn't the one for you? When she blew up on me because I lightheartedly joked that AWW, you have a work husband. I didn't usually stand up for myself with her because I was scared of her retribution. But in this case I very calmly told her that how she responded was not okay and that I'd appreciate an apology. She sneered. Apologize for what? I had finally noticed she never apologized for anything maybe 4 months prior, and this sealed it. A couple months later I begged her to either work things out with me or let me move on. We had 2 children together. She walked away. Caught her the work husband 2 weeks later. Only gets hard in scenarios like when my daughter begged me to fix it by buying mommy lots and lots of flowers and saying sorry. Edit, she was 100% using me for security while trying to secure a new, better partner. Later found out she lover bombed the guy heavily, and shortly after I found the meth he left her. She was livid when she learned I had found someone else by that point. My now wife, who helped pick up the broken pieces of me and put me back together. Holy yes, I've been reading comments for an hour now on this post. Edit. I'm still reading, it never gets boring. I currently on breakup pain and NGL. This thread is an amazing therapy. Bill Murray suggests taking your GF on a week-long trip out of the country before things get too serious. Engagement creates lots of opportunities to show off all of their personality traits, good, bad and ugly. This, and don't move in together if you haven't even spent more than a day with the other person without a break. The amount of coke she did. Too little or too much? /s. I want alpines of coke. I want your face to dive into that snowy cloud of good times and come back up looking like a ghost. This bee turned up every Friday with a baggie of coke thinking she was Scarface. Her indifference to me. Also, forgetting my birthday. I'm happy now to call her an ex. Oh gosh. I love my BF to death and we've been having an awesome relationship for 2 years now. But I tend to forget his birthday and this comment made me feel super guilty. But then I remembered he also forgets mine. So it's all good, I guess. Maybe remembering special dates are not something we prioritize, lol. When she got pregnant by another guy and tried to pin the baby on me. What happens? Storytell please. I had an ex-girlfriend who tricked me into meeting her parents. I would gladly meet them if she invited me, but she faked a panic attack so I would take her home, and her parents were in on it. Seems silly but looked like a sign of deeper issues, so I walked away. And seeing the kind of relationships she developed with other guys after me, I'd say it was the right call. Not silly. Her and her enabler showed themselves quickly. When I started to realize I was happier when she wasn't around. This depends for me. I love being with my girlfriend, but we live together and spend so much time together that I do enjoy time alone more at times. But it's more because I have such a scarcity of it. If I was left alone for 2 days I would miss her being around intensely. Having an evening to just watch my own shows or play video games or whatever is nice though. It's not that she's bad to be around. I love that we can do nothing together or just be comfortable. But having time alone is good too. That's normal and healthy. It's not normal or healthy if you breathe a sigh of relief every time she so much as leaves the room. Yep. It took me a while to realize it, but I looked forward to my ex-wife leaving, lol. She'd be gone for a week at a work conference and I wouldn't even miss her. That's part of helped me realize it wasn't going to work. When she invited me over to cook for me, and instead ambushed me with her 8 friends to interrogate my feelings and the relationship. No one expects the girlfriend inquisition. Holy smokes, man. What did you do? PS. Thanks for the nice comments and gold. Like the Spanish Inquisition. Very unexpected. But no more gold PLS. Donate to that to charity instead. Probably sat in the comfy chair and expressed his feelings in the relationship. When she asked for a dude's number at a party while I left for a minute, I caught her in the act and she still lied about it. Mine is similar. She invited me to hang out and we went to her favorite bar. Last call happens and she tells me one of the regulars is having an after party at his house and we are going. The guy has a pool table in his garage and she loves shooting pool. She says she's going to get a drink and I continue to play. She's gone for a while, but I don't think anything of it. I do go look for a bathroom. I'm about to turn the corner from the garage to the house and hear her talking to the guy who owns the house. "Hey, want me to spend the night?" she says, trying to sound seductive. "No," he says coolly. "Why not? Is it because of your girlfriend?" she says really angrily. "No, it's because you're a crazy bitch." He wasn't wrong. When she threatened suicide if I left her, she knew my father passed from suicide a couple years earlier. Wow. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. That's just disgusting. Sometimes people just want to know about your life to learn your triggers. Lied to my face with a straight face and even kept it up after I told her that I saw the message before she deleted it. I just recently had this experience. The Saturday before Thanksgiving, she decided to spend all day with a dude friend. When I told her I wasn't comfortable with that, she went on and on about how I'm wrong. She ended up staying the night there and lied and said she stayed at her friend's house that night. I feel weird, but I did look through her phone. She deleted the entire conversations between her and the dude friend, as well as the friend she said stayed at that night. I just matched with her friend on Tinder this Monday. I asked what my ex said that next morning, and she apparently said, "Hey, if anyone asks, I stayed the night at your house, lol." The lol is what killed me the most. But she also tried to lie and said she deleted a lot of messages weeks after it happened. Yeah, no, I saw what you really did before you said you deleted that s. Dated a girl for 2 years. Nothing I ever did was good enough. Plus she became very controlling and did not want me to hang out with my friends unless she was there. Finally got tired of the negativity and broke it off. Turned out all my family and friends hated her with a passion and was so happy when it ended. Now I'm with a fantastic woman who treats me with respect. It's nice to genuinely be happy for once. We are getting married in September. Why didn't friends and family tell you that they hated her while you were in the relationship? Because if Op wasn't ready to see what they saw, telling him they hate her might drive him away from his family and towards the toxic GF. Sometimes you have to let people figure stuff out themselves and just be there for them when they are ready to finally see. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. When I realized she could never be supportive or be there for me when I needed her. One example is when I had to put my dog down. Like an hour after it happened, she freaked out at me, accusing me that I tortured her, my dog, because I wanted to take the night to see if things would improve. Obviously it wasn't true, but her anxiety made her act that way, and that was how she reacted to anything that wasn't rainbows and sunshine. Basically accused of torturing my best friend right after losing her. Felt real good. That's only one of massive amount of things over 3.5 years. My ex once grieved for 2 years over her childhood dog passing away. I was there for her and never minimized her. My dad passed, and it was only 6 months before she was saying that it's been 6 months already. That was 2013, and I have left her ass. I still grieve for my dad. RIP. I'm sorry to hear that. We all deserve someone who can be there for us when we need them. Anything less than that isn't nearly good enough. I hope we both find that person. Complain about everything I did, which led to me thinking I was just not good at anything relationship wise. Been there. It fucks your self-confidence so badly. I'm literally struggling to get my confidence back. My ex made me feel so insufficient, and I was saying sorry every 10 minutes. It sucks. It takes time. No silver bullet. Just live your life on your terms every day, and it will slowly come back. In the meantime, be kind to yourself in the way you would be to a friend who was dealing with this situation themselves. When I made a surprise visit, and I was the one that was surprised to find her with another dude, that's a very subtle sign. She had a pretty shitty temper, whereas I'm chill most of the time. That and messaging guys behind my back. Anger issues are one thing, but having a full-blown screaming temper tantrum when she didn't get her way was the last straw for me. The first time it happened, it lasted almost an hour, and it only subsided because I called her dad and had her speak to him. That should have been the warning flag I needed, but I'm patient and chill and believe in second chances. She apologized for her behavior too. so I thought maybe she would change. Then a few months later, temper tantrum again. This time a full out screaming match with both of her parents that lasted for over 5 hours. I wasn't even involved, but I knew at that moment I didn't want to be involved with a woman or a family that communicates like toddlers. F that. My life has been so much more stress-free since. She had a lot of great qualities, but that was one I couldn't overlook. That can be the sign of an underlying mental health issue such as depression. Also can be an early indication of a neurological degenerative disease. It could also just be she's a jerk. She faked a pregnancy scare just to test me. Yep, been there. Fun times. Though the real kicker was that her solution was to drink herself into a miscarriage. Edit. I don't think she was ever actually pregnant. Regardless what she did, both of those are big yikes. When she came home from work, the sound of the front door opening made me feel annoyance instead of happiness. I realized that I'd felt this way for months and it never dawned on me. We broke up a few weeks later. I feel this one. I would be at work, anxious about how bad her mood would be when I got home. Took too long to realize that being upset all the time wasn't worth the good moments. A bit of an eye-opener for me, this one. I get a different person every night and actually enjoy my time at work more than at home. When she had a threesome, and I wasn't part of it. Thankfully we'd only been together a couple months. No big loss. How did you find out? She told me. Caught her screwing a guy after she told me she was saving herself for her wedding night. Goddamn. Goddamn. Your name looks like words, but also produce away KF Korgj at the same time. Oh, it's misspelled German. The correct spelling is Kultig Spritzig Frisch, as you can see, much more easy to read. Culty sparkling fresh. Didn't want to come to any of my family functions. Stopped sleeping in the same bed as me. We had sex maybe 10 times in a span of 3 years that we lived on our own. The last straw was apparently we started buying our own groceries. When I opened a bag of bread that was new, that she bought, she snapped at me, even though I'm paying 80% of rent. Internet etc. Came home from work and broke up with her. Reddit. Damn, I didn't expect this to gain so much attention. I should say I'm currently engaged and will be getting married soon to my true love. Only thing I lost of value to me was my cat. I miss you, Oliver. Wow. Yeah, this was an awful experience. Sorry. Yes, losing a cat is the worst. When my grandma got cancer and I needed someone to talk to, and she blew it off to talk about a party she was going to instead, I called someone else and they talked me off the ledge. And I realized that my girlfriend was a selfish, self-absorbed, emotionally unavailable bag of dicks. I broke up with her 3 days later after a 6-year relationship. There were plenty of other signs along the way, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. I ended a 10-year relationship in similar fashion. My ex and I owned a cafe. We were both there working when my dad called me. My family lived in another state. He said my niece had been killed in a car accident after her dad had fallen asleep and went off a cliff. He survived after an air revoc and bad injuries, but niece baby was in car seat and smashed against a tree and likely died instantly. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I went to the back and just collapsed on the floor in shock and then tears. My now ex walked back and asked what's up. I told him through tears, and he was a total asshole devoid of emotion and told me he needed me to get back to working the line, making drinks and pull it together. It wasn't busy. We already had issues. He's also the father of our daughter who was 3 at the time. I walked out the back door of the cafe, walked home, found my daughter drawing all over raw leather furniture with a permanent marker while babysitter was in bathroom. I just hugged her. In that moment she could have done no wrong, and it made me realize the little things that I got mad and upset over don't matter. Spilled food, whatever. I've never forgiven him for his reaction. And it got worse. He didn't want me to take 2 to 3 days to go be with my sister and funeral etc. I left him a few weeks later, got a different job and my own rental house, and found peace eventually. Like a breath of fresh air when you leave a toxic relationship. Using other women to see if I would cheat on her sounds like a cheater behavior. It backfired on her too, because I knew she was behind all of it. I would wake up in the morning And look at her. I can't explain it. Something was just not meant. It's now like 7 years later. I've been through another relationship. She is engaged. I have zero regrets. She did meth, and it took me a while to realize she wasn't the one. Man, that's messed up. She was too. When I realized that I'm stepping on eggshells because everything is my fault, and I've got to be wary of every little emotion I show because I'm always told I'm reacting inappropriately, when I felt that I do not care about giving my opinion because it would be wrong anyways.